Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to episode 6 of comparing popular free clients against each other to determine which free client offers the most value. Last episode was Meteor vs Worst, with Meteor coming out on top. Today we have the Envy client up against ThunderHack. By complete chance, both Envy and ThunderHack have been discontinued. On the 24th of October, a message was posted to the ThunderHack GitHub saying "see ya," and the GitHub was set to a public archive, meaning no further development would be done on the client. And by pure chance, just 2 days later, on the 26th of October, the Envy client was set to private and is no longer available on GitHub. I really did not expect either of these clients to be discontinued when I started the series, but here we are. I reached out to ask what happened, and the owner of ThunderHack told me that he was tired of maintaining ThunderHack, and so he decided to archive the project and stop working on it. While the owner of the Envy client told me that it was a long story and basically told me that he wanted to focus on paid for software rather than free software. Though even so, I think he should have archived the project like ThunderHack rather than setting the GitHub to private. Thankfully, I had downloaded the latest release of the Envy client just 2 days before it was set to private, and I was given permission to share these files. So my link in the description does contain the files I downloaded, but please keep in mind these are not provided officially and I make no claims as to their safety, so use them at your own risk. Before we dive right in, I want to quickly shout out the legends that support this channel. If you want to get your name in a video and help me make more content like this, consider looking at the benefits down below. Now, before we load up any of these clients to look at their features, I want to quickly discuss the rating system being used to determine which free client is better. I have spent a good amount of time playing with both of these clients, and I've put together a list of what I believe to be each client's strengths and weaknesses. And in this video, we are going to compare each client's strengths and weaknesses to determine which client offers the most value. So let's get started. Envy is, or I guess it was, a popular open source client built for modern Minecraft versions. Launching Envy is slightly complicated. If the custom Envy release of Baritone is not included, then the client does not launch. This video is going to be covering Envy 1.2.0 for Minecraft 1.19.3. I'm not actually entirely sure if this was the last ever release, but it was the latest version of the client that I could get running. Envy was originally a semi-popular fork of the Meteor client known as Matax, but at some point the Matax devs stopped working on the client and deleted the Matax Discord server and GitHub pages. Later on, ownership of Matax was given to someone new, who then started a new project named the Envy client, which was just a continuation of Matax, which now recently has come full circle and has once again sadly been deleted off of GitHub. Envy may not have supported the latest versions of Minecraft like some of the other clients in this series, but it offered a lot through its modules and features. We will come back to this later in the video though. Now let's move on to ThunderHack. ThunderHack again was a very popular open source client built for the latest Minecraft versions. ThunderHack is slightly easier to launch. All that is required is Java 21, as do all Minecraft clients on the latest versions, and the Fabric API, which is kindly linked in the client's README file. Throughout this series I have just called the client ThunderHack. We have actually been using and looking at the recoded version that was started a year and a half ago on the 4th of April 2023. Before this, the client only supported Minecraft 1.12.2 and was known as ThunderHack. This can actually still be found on GitHub, but it was also discontinued a long time ago. Directly comparing the clients against each other, ThunderHack does stand out slightly. The client offered support for more versions of Minecraft. ThunderHack is also easier to install, and while both clients have been discontinued, ThunderHack is still available on GitHub, while the Envy client is private and the official source code is not available to the general public. I do also want to say that I don't personally like how the Envy client devs handled the discontinuation of the client. Removing the only official source of the client from GitHub leaves the door open for scammers, who can then share unsafe versions of the client around to people looking for the Envy client. ThunderHack definitely handled its discontinuation slightly better, though with that said, it is really sad that both of these clients have been discontinued. I think in general ThunderHack was more well known and used, and it definitely had a less rocky history when compared to the Envy client. Envy may not have been easy to install, but actually using the client was not difficult. If you have ever used the Meteor client, then using Envy is almost exactly the same experience, just with a lot more modules. Envy is, or again was, a massive skid. It's not something the devs shied away from either. It was publicly labeled as a skidded client. Imagine taking features and ideas from every public client and adding them all into a single Frankenstein creation of a client. Well, you don't have to imagine it, that is exactly what the Envy client was. This has its pros and cons. The client definitely offered a lot of interesting, powerful and helpful modules, but to me it also feels very bloated. There are so many modules in the client, and some of the modules are actually offered multiple times with different settings or functionality. It is great having choice, but to me there is too much choice here. Too many modules to choose from and too many settings to configure, so the user experience is just not that good. But at the same time, Envy embraced this by offering a bit of everything imaginable and not focusing on refining anything to a perfect state. So while the user experience was maybe worse than other clients, I don't think it's fair to mark the client down on this, as that is kind of what the client was going for. Now let's take a look at ThunderHack. ThunderHack in contrast was easier to install, but maybe not as simple to use. The client offered a unique GUI with a few features that take some time to get used to. For example, to add a keybind you would middle click the module and then press the key. This is arguably a good system, it is just different to other clients and takes a bit of time to get used to. When it comes to the modules offered by ThunderHack, the client was clearly more of a competitor with popular paid and free clients like RussiaHack and or Meteor. The client offers some sick looking and very unique render modules, some good bypasses for popular servers, and some decent PvP modules and helpful utility hacks. ThunderHack's official focus was on Hacker vs Hacker Crystal PvP and on Hacker vs Hacker Sword PvP. The client definitely feels less bloated compared to the Envy client, and I would argue that it ran better, as it focused more on the fine details which make the client's user experience much more enjoyable. When directly comparing the two clients against each other, I once again find myself leaning towards ThunderHack. Both clients are fairly easy to use, but Envy has a lot of bloated and broken modules, so the user experience with ThunderHack is just arguably better. When it comes to the modules offered by each client, I again lean towards ThunderHack. The offered modules are easier to configure and in my option function better. I also really like some of the unique render related modules offered by ThunderHack. In fact, I would go as far as to say that ThunderHack offers some of the coolest and most unique render modules out of all of the clients that I've used. Envy is by no means a bad client, it is just not as refined, and as such the user experience is just not quite as enjoyable. At least that's how I feel about it. So after comparing these two clients, I think it is pretty clear that I personally prefer ThunderHack over the Envy client. Envy again is not a bad client by any means, but with it being discontinued, not supporting the latest versions, and having a less optimized user experience, I find it hard to recommend when there are other amazing popular free open source clients out there. I am sad that the client has been discontinued though, and hope to see more projects by the team in the future, even if they are paid for. ThunderHack on the other hand has a much nicer user experience, and the client offers a lot of value through its bypasses, combat modules, and through its amazing render system. Both clients offer good modules, but ThunderHack offers more up-to-date modules and more relevant modules for the latest versions. I am still surprised and sad to see the client discontinued, but I hope this does not mark the end for the client. Hopefully someone or some group can pick up the project and continue it. With that said, ThunderHack moves on to the final episode of this series, where it will face off against the Meteor client. I will admit this final episode is maybe a bit pointless now that ThunderHack has been discontinued, but at the same time ending the series here just doesn't feel right. Anyways, that is enough rambling for one day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you have not done so already. And with that said, I have been your boy KiLAB. Peace in the Middle East.